So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. How's it going, Sandman? Good to see you. Um, there's some news events going on, or like financial news stuff going on. So I don't know how much that's going to affect it, but I try not to let that bother me too much because you're going to see stuff in the charts even beforehand. Mowgli, thanks for joining. I'm surprised you're up with your time zone. I don't know exactly which time it is, but for you. But you're welcome to come on stage too if you like. I've got about 2 megabits, no, sorry, 4 megabits upload per second right now, so I should be okay to do this. But we do have some storms coming in. It's raining a little bit off and on, and we usually get thunderstorms when this happens because it gets so hot here, and then um, when it finally rains, it like has a thunderstorm. It's like it has to storm to be able to rain. It's weird. I really want to look at this here on EAX. This is something I thought was really cool since I've seen Mowgli talk about it before a couple times now, and one of his recent videos. This section where you can search for something, something that's not on the list here, and then you can watch it. And the fact that it will refresh if you hit the refresh once you create a list. And I haven't even created a list yet, but that's something I'd like to do. Just want to double check because nobody's typed in the chat yet, but can everyone hear me all right? Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay, goody, good. Thank you. Yeah, so I typically use EAX myself for checking for divergences and proximity to key levels. And I really like to see the gainers and the gainers and the losers, and make a list and just kind of look and see what I can find. And a little about myself and my trading style. I have been a continuation trader, so I've tried to kind of improve with trading reversals, but I seem to do better when I trade continuations. I'm not sure why, but I just the volatility around reversals with the sweeps and the manipulation, it tends to throw me off. So trend lines have helped me with that when I see a clear trend line break, but there's not always one. Sometimes you just have price go up to trend XR3 or get close to it and then reverse right then. So I don't always catch those types of trades. I tend to be more careful. Not to say you can't do that. Some people like trading like that, but I seem to have more success with trading continuations. So I'm. This is interesting. I'm just gonna kind of look around and see what some things. I haven't really showed this much, but um, this feature on EAX where you can just click this little arrow next to the ticker name, it can show you what's on TDIX, which to me that's really important because, as you guys know, that's like my main entry trigger is TDIX, and I'm always looking for these crossovers. Um, but I often do it based on the money flow and or where the RSI has been. Like if it's been up like above this 50 line, that's a 5-minute time frame. But generally, it's trending up when it's up above the 50. You'll have your dips, but if it's up above the 50, you're generally going up, and the same when it's below. So this is something like I haven't really talked about much, but I really like this because it saves me time going to TradingView. And if I'm looking for something here, I can go through them it loads pretty quick. And I'll just show you an example, something that's under the 50, like where this white line, this fast MA, is under the 50, you're going to see it trending down. And that's pretty much, the thing on that. I don't know on here if it will. No, it's not showing the slow MA, but in situations like this, you can often catch slow MA crosses as well, the fast and slow crosses, depending on what's going on. But you want to watch out for key levels where you might get a bounce if you're going short, or resistance if you're going long. You shouldn't just base a trade based on the fast MA and slow MA cross. You really need to trade at key levels, and that is something that it took me so long to just kind of force myself to do. Okay, Sandman, that's that's cool. Thank you for stopping in too. Yeah. Um, I really like what you're doing, by the way, in the BTC updates, and how everyone's allowed, or a bunch of people are allowed to give information in there and just kind of share and focus on Bitcoin. So yeah, I would look out for something like this. If I see this trending down, the other thing you want to watch is this. Basically, this white line's like an RSI, or I think it's just slightly modified, but it's an RSI. But you want to watch for something like this too. Like if you try to go short and you see the RSI climbing right here, it's about to get above the 50 again. So I probably wouldn't go short on something like this, but I can just tell right on EAX, like I can see the money flows come up while the price went down. If I went short one more time on it, could be risky. Um, you can short this, but I would have done it sooner. Like I'd say the best time is when you have these more fresh crossovers, like around here, where it just went under the 50 and then it's staying under it. But when it's been under for a while and it's climbing back up, you don't really want to enter a short on that, because it's coming back up, and look at it, it's coming up. So this is great. I don't think a lot of people use that, but it can save you time. And the fact that it tells you like the divergences too. Now you want to keep in mind though that these are the regular divergences for like reversals. I don't believe that TDIX shows you hidden divergences, and I do want to talk about that today in this stream, because we're having like some sort of financial news coming up. Like I don't know if it's like employment reports or whatever. I think Joe linked it in one of the chat rooms, letting us know that there's something going on. There's this website, it's called like Forex Factory or something like that. And I don't know where I put it. It's such a mess here. So right here. So this here is like a website. You could go to cryptocraft.com/calendar, and it'll tell you like things that are going on. And usually when there's a red arrow, it's usually something that's going to affect the markets. And now that Bitcoin, is a big asset with the big players, it's going to be affected. Thanks for sharing that, Mowgli. We'll take a look at that then. So yeah, it's coming up to the previous. Yeah, you guys on the live stream or watching the recording, you won't see this, but I'm looking at a screenshot that Mowgli shared. Mowgli, if you want to come on stage, you can. I'm going to try to keep it focused. I did have, but you can come in. Last time I did a recording, somebody mentioned how the topic was jumping all over, and we're talking about different things, having a conversation, and it was just all over the place. So I want to try to stay focused to make it useful. But when you see this, usually with these red arrows, there's something going on, and because it's coming up on Tuesday, which is today in Australia, you guys, you still got some time, I think, before it's Tuesday. But there's like anticipation of this stuff. I don't really care about this, but it does affect the markets. So, um, um, all right. So I I'm gonna 1 second here. I'm gonna share my chart and look at Bitcoin too. And as a matter of fact, I'm putting EAX on another monitor. And I am recording just to make sure I'm recording too, because sometimes I start a stream and then forget to hit the record button. So I'm gonna pull that up too. Thank you, Mowgli. I don't even think I have this one on my watch list. Oh yeah, it's Trendex got going on here. So on my other monitor, I've got EAX, and I'm going to put it up on the screen again. But I do want to look at Bitcoin really quick, um, and just kind of show you that I mentioned this a few times. Um, Bitcoin has been rejecting the monthly pivots. It's been rejecting right on the center. Um, it's in an order block right now, so there's a chance for a little reaction to this order block here. But I've noticed that lately Bitcoin has been falling under the monthly pivots. I could show you more, but I've just got the last one enabled. And my trend X is, has my settings, so it's a little different looking. Um, and it just keeps rejecting and then going lower. And look, it's even rejected under the weekly. So, if you understand trend X, it means it's trending down. And you had a nice big kind of like a long momentum candle or whatever you want to call it. I would say it's like a higher volume candle, but it's not really showing it, or it is kind of, but um, yeah, you're getting some movement here. This is weird because lately there's been a lot of indecision candles, small candles at one after another, and then there's a big candle. Um, so it's obviously Bitcoin's being moved by institutional players right now, and other than that, it's just not moving much. So it's like we're all waiting for the big guys to do something. And as much as it looks like it's going down, there's a that we're in an order block right now, but there's still really bearish market structure. But there's another order block here coming up, and this I think is one of the deciding order blocks, because this would be if this line breaks, that could be a long term change in market structure to bearish. So um, seeing this one here break at 75k, right around 74k ish, 75k. If that breaks, that's a lower low. That would be the higher low right here. And if it goes down here somewhere, that would be a lower low, and that would be bearish long term. Um, and you notice how fast Bitcoin's been coming down since the all-time high. So let me just turn TrendX other levels on and show you what I'm talking about. I'll just do the last 3 months. And you see like how it's, keep an eye on the, yes. I normally have it on here. Simple move, or EMA, moving average exponential 800. I love that EMA, by the way. I've already got it set to it. Yeah, it's under. And it's went down hard too. It hasn't really went down that hard for a while. Um, yes, yes, and it did break it up here. You've seen that. The moving averages tell you a lot, and this is the 800 EMA. And since it went under it, and there's also a key level here, I marked this way over here. Like I knew this was this 108 to 111K is a very key zone. And look at how Bitcoin's just, when it had that drop and that wick showed, it revealed, confirming this key zone here. Because whenever you see a big wick, you know there's a key area. And when it had that, it kind of, you might have thought, oh, it's going to bounce, but it hit like another area and then just kept going down, and it couldn't hold. And now it's just, it cannot seem to get above the monthly pivots. Now it does seem, for a little bit there, for here, it was kind of coming up for a little bit, and it really seemed like it was going to change, like it was going to try to get above the daily and the weekly and maybe even the monthly, but it failed. It failed again. So this is a higher time frame pivot, and yes, thank you for saying that. Um, yeah, just let me know too, if you want to join sometime. Like I'm trying to get back to where I would let people join the stage during the second hour, because I like to do a 2 hour show. Um, but for some of you guys, like, Sandman and Mowgli, you're the kind of guys you can come in anytime, because you guys, you're very, very experienced traders, and it's just nice to see you guys in here. I don't see you in my live streams as much. um, oh, you're going to the Jets game. Great. I hope you have fun. That sounds fun. Sounds really fun. um, yeah, there's a major level down here. There's some liquidity down here, but depending on what Bitcoin does here, because you do have bull divs forming. Not this one. What time? I think it was the daily. One of them. Yeah. I mean, it's. Let me check another time frame too. There was a hit. Okay, that's bearish. That's pretty bearish looking. There was, like, for a while the daily had a hidden bull, but it can invalidate. Yeah, so let me turn this. I will show you, and just turn this off for a minute. Well, I can leave that on. Whenever you see something like this, like if the price is higher than a previous low, and then you have I'd say it was right around here when it hit this low, so you would want to measure from this part of the money flow to this. This is a hidden bull div. So it's still valid unless price breaks this. And that's also an order block. And if price breaks that, it will be a change in market structure. It will be bearish market structure. And divergences can invalidate. I've seen them invalidate so many times. And even if you measured from this one, it would still be valid. So this is one of the things I want to talk about during the, I'm going to leave this here. This is something I wanted to talk about on this session. Just so I make sure I know what time frame it's on. All right. So what I'll see too before I move on, sometimes you'll see these hidden bull divs and they will not play out right away, but they'll come really close to invalidating and they won't. And then they'll blast off, like, because they'll stack. Is what will happen sometimes. I don't want to say it's happening here at this situation, but you'll have something like the money flow kind of come up a little bit. And let me do that again and just kind of get it a little better. Now this is just hypothetical. And then you'll have price kind of do something like something like that. So what you have here is you'll have a hidden bull I'm not saying this is going to be the case, but I see this so often. And then right after the hidden bull, you'll have a regular one, like right like that. So the money flow might come up and the price might come down. And then let's say it comes down just about here, something like that. And then you'll have it from here to here, and it'll be like a regular divergence. I've seen this happen so many times, and they tend to have massive moves when that happens. When you have one divergence after another, and it could be a hidden bull first and then a regular, or it could be a regular and then a hidden bull. Like I've seen it. It's very common if you backtest and look at lower time frames. Um, oh, thanks, Mowgli. But you want to watch for stuff like that. It's really important, especially the money flow, because you will have divergences um, with the money flow that just they seem more likely to play out. You might have like one or two regular divergences on the RSI before it makes its run. Like here, it had a divergence here, but it went down again. And this is exactly what I was talking about right here. If you look, you'll see it. Because this, when you do a divergence, you want to measure from the low of the price, and then at that point measure the oscillator. So right here, you would draw your line from this money flow, or even let's just do it on the RSI, because it's there too. Let me pull it up so it's easier to see. And so like right here, the RSI is there, and then over here, well, let's see, that one's, yeah, that's still valid because this is a hidden bull, not a regular divergence. And then look at this. Right after this hidden bull div, the same thing. It went down just a little bit in price, and look at how the RSI just came up. You can see that, I'm sure. It shows it on TDIX. So you had the stack divergence like I was trying to explain. And even the money flow came up here. If you look at the money flow right here, it's coming up as the price came down at the same time. So you got a divergence on, the RSI, and then on the money flow. And you don't always see it, but then look what happened afterwards. And for Bitcoin, that's a pretty good move considering it was going right up into resistance. Because this would have been your resistance zone. So there's potential here. If this stacks from here and this low does not break and make a new lower low, and you get a divergent stacking, a bounce on this 800 EMA. You too, Sandman. Happy trading, or talk to you later. Enjoy the game if that's what you do, or if you're going now. I don't know when you're going or whatever, but have fun. We'll see you. But this here, this could be a bounce on the 800 EMA on the daily. Look at that wick right on it. That is a strong moving average. And we'll see. But it's definitely forming a hidden bull div. And if price comes down anymore and this RSI doesn't come down below here, it's going to stack another one. Because in this case, like to invalidate the hidden bull, price would need to go lower than this. And this is how you know if it would invalidate. You just draw a line here, and I put it, I got a thing on there. Let me just hide this guy. So I don't know. I'm just going to delete that sucker and then put it back. So that's how you would know. If price went below this line, it would be a lower low, and you wouldn't have the up angle, so you wouldn't have a divergence. It would invalidate it. Now, in the other case, here, when you're doing the other kind of divergence, like a regular, not a hidden, you would want to see this RSI come down here, because like if you were doing it on the RSI or money flow, it would be at an up angle, and let's say price came down, like say price came down to here, so the price would be lower, but the RSI is still higher, so you've got a divergence, and that is really why one of the reasons I like trading divergences, or I notice them, because um, they may keep pushing deeper and deeper, higher and higher, and then not invalidate. They may come really close to invalidating and not, and then eventually they will play out. So there is a divergence there on the daily, and that is, yes, that was a good point that Sandman made. And look at how long Bitcoin has been above the 800 EMA on this time frame. I mean, it's since October of 2023. So this is, it's significant that it's tapped it. You know, hasn't even touched it for a long time. So something, you know, this is a pivotal area. I I wanted to believe that the bull run was over when I saw this big dip and it went below this key zone, but you know, everyone's just guessing on stuff like that. Nobody knows. You could have another move up, and you know, you could end up having left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It may come up and reject here again. You never know. You know, it could kind of come like that. It's possible. Um, but so right now, the main thing is to watch this level. Well, a couple things. Make sure you're watching 74 to 75K to make sure this low doesn't get lost. And also watch Trendex on, you know, some time frame or just the monthly Trendex. And if Trendex gets above this middle line of the monthly Trendex, because here's the 800 on the 1 hour, and it's rejected there. And price is crunching between different moving averages too. If it gets above this, it will be bullish again. And we've still got a couple weeks in this month before this red line is gone and there's a new one. So I'm not saying that it's going to turn bullish because there's a divergence. It can invalidate, but it's going to be kind of hard to invalidate it on the daily unless we get a massive dump, which it could happen. A massive dump would invalidate it. And I would say that would just confirm the change in market structure. But you know how Bitcoin is, and it's just very slow sometimes, and the big guys are in it. It just, these little moves seem so big um, when you're trading alts. So yeah, that's what I was looking at on Bitcoin, and what I'm keeping an eye on. If price gets above 94K, it could be bullish at least to this zone, 108 to 111, which would be a right shoulder, unless it breaks up past all this. Um, Otherwise, it could be making a right shoulder on that. But if it goes below here, I'm sorry, here, that's pretty bearish. So interesting times. But most of you guys, you really don't trade Bitcoin. You don't really care what Bitcoin's doing that much. You're trading altcoins. So let's get into that a little bit too. SEMA Fire 94. Thanks for sharing. What? Ace. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's what Mowgli brought up a little bit ago. Um, it was right in that zone. Very, wow. See, Mowgli, he's like, from what you've told me, is you haven't studied trading as long as some of these guys, and yet what I see is you're really killing it when it comes to trading. You're really doing so well. Um, I think the only thing I can wonder is, like, if you took everything Seth said to heart, and um, wow, that was a low time frame reaction too. Okay, so you want to look at ARC. All right, why not? Let's look. Ah, yes, look at this. Doesn't that look like a accumulation, probably a manipulation. There's liquidity up here, previous week high. That would be, what is that? The weekly R2? No, that's the weekly R1 right there. But still though, um, you got massive fair value gaps. Wow. Look at that. This looks really good for that. Makes me want to short that sucker. Weekly and monthly. Yeah, the weekly R1 and monthly. Yeah. And look at sweeping. I'm showing a sweep on the 1 hour. No, this is a 4 hour on SMCX. Well, it's a 1 hour. I think no, it says 4 hour model because I got it set to automatic. It automatically looks at 4 hour sweeps and then puts them on my lower time frame. Yes, main thing is always key zones, and I was trying to say that earlier too. Um, you can have all sorts of confluence, but if you don't have a key zone, you know, you're flying blind because you need that. I was as you see these dotted lines on my SMCX, I've been kind of back testing and experimenting with what Seth was showing in one of his new videos, and basically these blue lines are the daily open, like a daily candle open. So if it's trending down, this would be a wick. So like once it comes back down from that wick, you can typically find a short. So like if this would have been where the candle opened and it went up and that was the wick for a daily candle, and then you could have shorted when it came back down. So I've been kind of back testing that and trying to see if I can find a way to exploit that for profit too. Look at this one too. This is a weekly and a daily where it started here and had a little wick and then came up. And that's just so cool. I'll show you my settings, that you can see the other high time frame candles right on there if you enable this. I think it was Seth's new video. But if you use these candle open lines, I set mine as thick on 3 and kind of made them thicker for the higher time frames, and I made them dashed so I know exactly what they are. But that's pretty cool. It's really kind of like opposing levels as they form, because that's really what it is. Opposing level is usually drawn on a higher time frame candle body, not the wick. So right where the body starts, that would have been basically an opposing level at the start of a candle. But you want to make sure if it's an opposing level, it needs to oppose the trend direction. So yeah, this is really cool stuff here. I mean, this whole thing with what's been going on in EA, with all these new things all the time, like it's a lot, and it's wonderful because there's always something. I want to show you guys something. Today I was going to make it a video. There's a good bit of people in here. I'm going to just share it with you. I want to show you something. I know this is different. It's totally different, but to me, I'm excited about it because it's the way I trade. And we all trade different ways. So if you, well, don't look at it now, but if you're aware, inside of our Discord, you may not have all the channels active. Like you can choose which channels, like browse channels towards the top of the channels list where it says 6 events, browse channels, members. Well, if you look on there in one of those channels, you might have it disabled. There's one called volatility scanner. And as a matter of fact, I will send a link to it so you have it. I want to show you this. Now, I found something on here because the way I tend to trade continuations, and I tend to trade divergences, and I'm still just kind of mastering my trade. I've kind of developed it. The people that know me Knew I was a pretty amateur trader. I was losing. I came to easy algo. I started making profit and became profitable. Um, and then some things happen. No, don't do Mowgli. He's just pulling my leg. But in this channel, you have something. This is why people go to websites like Scalp Station. That's why they go to websites like Orion Terminal, because people want to see that volatility. Now, um, EAX will show you, I'm going back to EAX, by the way. So I'm going to pull that up here. So give me a sec. And I'm going to pull up a few things. So I have to switch what I'm sharing. Okay, you should be able to see my browser and EAX on it. So, you've got everything on here. You've got your RSI scanner. This is great. It's wonderful. Um, Most people use SMCX. I'm more of a TDIX trader, and I'm getting more. I love SMCX, and I'm still learning. And I just don't have as much experience with SMCX. So I still trade with TDIX mostly. But I've been using EAX in a way that I can get what I want. Like, I've just been checking to see what's pumping and dumping. But I started getting into seeing, how because of Mowgli trading at the key Trendex levels, and the Trendex levels are, I would say, um, if TDIX wasn't my favorite indicator, it would be Trendex, because it's so powerful, and SMCX really enables you to really take advantage of that, because it gives you more key levels that you don't have to plot out, that they're already there. You know, previous day high, your Trendex is going to show you that, and SMCX is going to show you that. The previous week low, it's right in SMCX, but Trendex has stuff in there too that SMCX will not show you. So, yeah, I don't think SMCX shows you the pivots and if they're narrow or not. It doesn't. So, it just shows you like previous weeks. Let me look at it really quick. I know it shows you, the previous week high, the previous day high, stuff like that. You can kind of see other things when you enable them in SMCX, but you won't see if the pivot's narrow or not. But this is great. Now, I trade divergences, as you can see, and as I talked about earlier. But what I find is, even with TDIX, my favorite indicator, it only shows reversal divergences. These are regular divergences where there's a reversal. But hidden divergences are for continuations. And as I said, I like to trade continuations. I just feel very comfortable with that. And I have. So if you look at that, where I showed you a link to volatility scanner, sometime check it out. What I can do on there now is just look and see what's volatile. You could do it like this too, but the volatility scanner is going to tell you immediately when it happens. And that's that's why I'm going to show you something else too. This is Scalp Station. This is something I learned about because Crypto Crisp uses it. And basically, it's just showing you the volatility. And you can see it fast because this will update. And yes, Trendex gives expansions and bias with resistance levels. It is super important. And that's what I was going to say. I think Trendex is pretty much tied with TDIX for being my favorite indicator, because key levels are so important, and Trendex just generates them for you. But a lot of people will just trade, volatility. But how do you harness that? Once the move happens, it's too late, or is it? And I'm here to say it's not too late. I'm going to show you why. But that's why, like, for a while, I wasn't using as I'm sorry, EAX as much as I wanted to, and as this has kind of been like Mowgli's thing, and it's been great, but a lot of people haven't understood it, so he's been helping people understand. Um, it's very powerful, but um, what I would do now, because I want to trade continuation divergences specifically and not reversals. That's just how I prefer to trade. Um, I I could look on here and go for wait until reversal happens and then jump in on a low time frame continuation. So the divergences are great for reversals here, these ones, because they're that kind. But I am looking for, excuse me, I'm looking for hidden divergences, which this doesn't show. But what I would do is I'm just going to go ahead and put trading view back on, and I'm going to show you some stuff. So it just has to, I have to like stop sharing and then share again to make it work. So yeah, the swing detector. So on here, what I would do is I would look at something that just started moving, and I'm not sure if this will. Let me know if anything happens to the stream. I'm going to try something really quick, and I'm going to look at the volatility scanner and see if I don't think it'll stop the stream. No, it's still streaming. Awesome. All right. I don't know if this will create a loop. Well, I better not. I was going to try to share my Discord window so I could show you, but right now I'm looking at the volatility scanner, and I'm seeing Pippin is moving. I'm seeing Ace started going down, but Pippin is really moving. So I haven't even looked at that yet, or it was. And you might think, oh, this is late. You're late. I'm going to get rid of some of these lines and just show you some stuff. So I'll look at Pippin, Ace. I'm just going to make a little list. And I'm just going to start fresh. And the easiest way to do this, I'll show you a trick. So if you've got stuff on your list, and you want to just add it to another list, and so I got this stuff here. I can like hold control and I could click Ace, Pippin, Arc. Let's get some. Let's throw bead on there. Let's go for some dumpers. I'll go with River, Aster, Piverse, whatever. So I just grab some, and then what I'll do, see how now they're all selected because I held control of the tops, dumpers and bumpers or whatever, and I'll right click it, and I'll go to add all selected to, I'll do my session hot list. And now when I go and I click my watch list and I go to session hot list, they're there. So hopefully you guys caught that. And hopefully my screen is sharing okay still, because I've been kind of alt and tabbing around with the other stuff. So now I got a little list here, really quick and easy, without having to type it. And yeah, you could just right click and add things to other lists and have different lists. You know, you might have a list for your watch list, another which for a list for things that are about ready to have a trade entry, so you can watch them a little more closely. Maybe you have a watch list for trades that you're in, and just kind of turn everything else off while you're doing that. So let's look at this. So this is what I would be looking for here, and I'll show you. Let's say I was watching the volatility scanner in the Discord, and all of a sudden you had a big move here, but I feel like I missed it. Let's just draw a trend line. I'm not going like super accurate on this. I'm just drawing this just to make an example. Let's say you were watching, oh, it's coming down, whatever. I'm not trying to go super accurate on this trend line. It's just a kind of just a quickie line. And let's just hypothetically say you were watching this when it happened. Um, now I want to make it just right because there is actually a little downtrend line that was broken there. And when you have your resolution set to 4K, it's hard to click on stuff because it's so small. Um, so you had a breakout and you're like, oh, I'm too late, blah, blah, blah. No, go to a lower time frame. In this case, it's kind of hard. It haven't really, maybe even a lower time frame. Let's go to like a 10-second, just for shits and giggles. Um, I normally don't trade on any low time frames like this, but I'm going to show you that this does work because it does. And just like that, and this is a 10-second time frame. Let's magnify it, TDIX, and you will see almost every time. Here's a very good example, couple good examples. So I would have found this by looking at the volatility scanner. And what do you have here? You've got hidden bull divs. You know, you missed the entry, this big move, you missed that, but it's still running. And look, there's another one, and it just keeps printing them. These are like secondary entries, late entries. They do work. But if there's no bull div, don't enter. And you don't want to use that for your entry alone. You know, look at, in this case, you would have had like, you on a probably like a 1 or 2 minute, you might have had an opposing candle here, right, with this bull div. So can you see that? You guys understand what I'm doing here? Do you understand? If nobody understands, let me know and I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Okay, so price is going higher while the money flow, the oscillator, is going lower. Even in some cases, like from here to here, the RSI went lower. That's a hidden bullish divergence. And like, you know, you could have caught something small. I'm not saying you're going to. I mean, that's pretty good for some of these shit coins. You know, 10% in 15 minutes. That's all you really need. So watch for this. If you don't see it, look at a lower time frame. Volatility scanner. It can get you in trades anytime you want. Like there's always something that's volatile. As soon as it turns volatile, get to it. Look at the money flow. Look at TDIX. Look at the RSI. Look at the low time frame. I'm on the 10-second chart, which I don't even trade on, but I'm showing you that this is everywhere. And you have the money flow coming down while the price is going up. It's running away, and people are trying to get in. And then you know that's a hidden bull div, a continuation divergence, and it's like an entry, because especially like this one right here doesn't look like much, but that's all you need. You know, whoops, wrong one. But it was like what 10% in 16 minutes. It's pretty fast. So right here, you had a resistance to support flip, right, with a divergence. Not only that, you obviously you have this cross here, this fast MA crossing right there, and that is where I would enter. I would wait for a confirmation, because it could hit this and bounce back down. You want to wait till like a candle like goes above it and confirms right here. This big candle, you might, oh, I missed that big candle. You're still going to catch a big move. And like say you entered here and boom, 5.71% in 4 minutes. I mean, you could put it on 3x leverage and be totally safe and make some money. So I like to be safe. I trade with lower leverage than most of the guys here. I trade continuations, and to make it work, I'm looking for hidden bull divs. So that's my style. Like this here, it might do it again. I don't. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't though unless I see more confirmation. But this could flip. It could flip again, and this is just an example. This is not. Don't trade it. I mean, this is a 10-second time frame. I wouldn't touch it like right now. I wait for like the 1 minute or 3 minute or something, even the 5 or 15. But you'll see them on those time frames as well. So look at was it Saros? Okay, I did want to look at Pippin too for some, because it's been going up for a while. And look at a higher time frame, and I'll show you that it happens on that too, real quick, and then we'll look at the other one. And boom, there you have it. There's more of them. You just have to look after the move starts. But like right here, you have an entry or a potential entry. You know, your price is going up here. You think you missed it, but right at this low, you measure from right around here, and then you got lower money flow with a higher low, and there's your potential entry. Now this one's kind of messed up. You could have entered here, this cross, but you see that's how jagged it is. Times like that, it tends to be risky. But as long as it doesn't go back below this money flow wave and then stay below, it's probably trending up. And sometimes it's safe to wait for this RSI to get above the 50, like right around here. Very safe entry. You usually get a jagged move back. Like say you have a crossover here, expect it to come back down and retest that line right there. Now it got above the 50. You can sometimes expect it to go up and then come back down, and then it starts heading up again. And there's your entry right here too. So yeah, let's look at that Saros or whatever. Thank you, Mowgli. I've never looked at this one before. I don't think I've heard of it. Yeah, it's in an uptrend, so I would be looking for a continuation of something. But wow, and so whoops. In that case, I'm just gonna look. This could reverse anytime because like you're getting the bear divs like crazy on the 5 minute. But if you went, I'll just show you. Like here's one. Like it's so hard to see this one, but I see them because this is what I do. Look at this little. Can you see that little red bump? Like right there. Look at that. It's so tiny. So I look for stuff like that, believe it or not. And then look, the price went up. Now there was some movement here, but look at this. You had trend X confirmation. You got a hidden bull div, and that is above the narrow pivot of trend X. And it's stacked. It's a stacked divergence. Like look at how easy it is to find trades. And then look at this. Money flow come up, and the price came down just a little bit. And there you go. Like you would be like, oh no, I tried to enter on a hidden bull div and it didn't go my way. Well, it came down just a little bit, and then say you exited, and then it took off after you exited the trade. So yeah, that is what you can find when you see a movement. It's like, oh, this thing just moved. It'll pop up on your list. It's like, oh, it just moved 8%. And it gets your attention. You start seeing it on the sites, on the volatility scanner, on the EAX. Something's going on. Look at your money flow and your RSI. Look at your trend X. And that was a double divergence, hidden and regular. And then look at what it did right after that. See that? I'm not just saying divergence to, because that's something I do. It actually works as confluence, not really as your entry trigger. But, this is another one here too. Like I don't see a hidden divergence, but it's creating bear divs, but so this thing could reverse. But like you had this, I bet you. Well, that's like a 5 minute. opposing level even, which is extremely risky to. And you were saying 4-hour level semifier. Thank you. Let's check it. Yes, it is. Very good. That is a bearish order block. That is a key level. You're in a key level for a short, potentially, but you want to check your volume as well. And the volume is strong. You probably get a reaction here, but I wouldn't hold a short. Look at how bullish this is on the 4-hour. Look at the money is come up, a money flow, and the price went down. So it's just starting to play out a bullish move. You don't know how far it's going to go. In this time, a lot of these bullish moves tend to be duds. They go up a little bit and then they just dump. But in a more bullish environment, it could go up here and drag everything up above the. See how it's down here and it's trending down? Like all this RSI money flow, it's just down here. It's not getting above this 50 on the TDIX scale. It's bearish. But then, like, it starts getting above. This could drop, but it could come and start staying up here. We'll see. I would say it's most likely this sucker's going to dump. Yeah, also near a 1-hour fair value cap. Good eye. I haven't been looking at these ones. Let me get. I think this will show it. And that's not showing it. I have another one that just automatically shows all the fair value gaps. Well, anyway, yeah. There's definitely, there's a fair value gap right there. That's a really good one because that is a semifier. That's really good because, and there's multiple ones. I would expect it to reverse right on this middle line right here. I'm not saying it will. Please don't take a trade because of me. But I see these order blocks so many times. Price will reverse right at the middle line. But when you have a fair value gap right at an order block, it typically does have a move. So yeah, there's a fair value gap here, and there's one below it even. You might even have a little liquidity over here. There's no button. Something like that. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's hitting one too right now. There's another one right here. So there's a lot of reason for this to reverse here. Okay, it's way above trend X. So yeah, this could be reversing right now. I'm not taking the trades right now because I'm doing a live and I don't want to look at all the other monitors and watch it and do that. I'm just going to talk like during this, but yeah, this is a really good one. This is how you do it, guys. This is how you find trades. You want to see some volatility. You want to see what's going on with Trendex, with your TDIX, money flow. Is the RSI down below the 50? It's trending down. Is it above? It's trending up. Here, it's all down. Like it's been down a while, so it had a big move. But there's strong reason for a reversal here, or sorry, maybe not a reversal, but a reaction to it. Because you don't need a reversal to get some money. You can just trade the reaction. Just imagine it went up. Just imagine it went up, hit this midline or this red zone, this fair value gap, and then it just came back down here. And let's say it did it, it could do that in like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Who knows? Maybe like an hour. But let's say it came up here. Maybe this was accumulation, manipulation, sweep, and then distribution down here back to this opposing level. It could go lower. It's possible and probably likely that it'll trend lower now, or I'm sorry, after that happens. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a drink of water. It's possible. It's probably highly likely that that'll happen, but you know, you can just trade the reaction. You don't need to catch the reversal, the full reversal, because if you're holding your trade for a really long time, it could turn against you, and you could have had all that profit if you would have taken it. Mowgli, you're so funny. Yeah, I want to say that too while we're kind of joking about it. Guys, I don't want you to ever take trades because I say so or other people say so. In this group, we want people to learn to be independent, to know how to do this, because it's not hard. With these tools, you can do it. It's easy with easy algo. And, when you hit that trade button, you're responsible. Other people are going to say things. The markets are going to sometimes look like it's going one way, and it'll really look that way. And even experienced traders are going to be like, it looks bullish or bearish, and it's going to go the opposite way. That's trading. That's the nature of the game. Um, you know, I show you things that I know because I want you to learn to do it. Um, and I'm hoping you guys show me some of the stuff you guys know because I can learn from you as well. That's funny, guys. You guys are joking in the chat. I think it's great. Um, Show the flow, mark the charts, fins, key levels, and use an entry model. Okay. So where you want, you said mark the charts fins. I don't know if I fully understood what you were saying, Mowgli. Oh, okay, all right, no worries. There is a shark fin here, a bullish shark fin, and that's a hey, that's something I've done before too, but I haven't mentioned, and I'll just with if you're using indicator X and TDIX, there's a system where you can enter on shark fins in alignment with whether price is above or below the value lines. So right here, there's a bullish shark fin under this value line, and there's two value lines, an origin and a master. Let's get rid of this line here, or just make it be able to differentiate between it. Um, so you would want to check, like let's say you see a shark fin. Well, hey, it's under the value line. You probably got an entry here when it crosses right here. But look at this. Like, take a look when you have the shark fin. I'm just going to get rid of TrendX for a bit because it's confusing. And volume, that's great, but let's get rid of some of the noise. Look here, and you see on another recent low, even here, like, because this is a low for this area, and look at the RSI here, and look at this. More confirmation. I think that if this low here intersects with it, it may invalidate the divergence, but it kind of does. So I wouldn't typically do that. Of course, you don't enter because of a divergence, you use it as confluence. But there is a divergence here, even if you took it from like this low, because it's kind of a low. If these were swings, like little swings on a low time frame, and you would have this um, right about here. Gosh, I'm doing nice and shitty today with my clicking. So yeah, not only is price below the value line, so you're getting it at a discount, but you got a bullish shark fin and a hidden bull div. You see these moves and you think you're too late. No, you're not too late. You're just This is how you get in on the pullback on a short retracement within the trend. So that you look out for that if you're trading continuations. Now, I can't, you know, teach reversals as well as some of you other guys like Mowgli. He just does it. And Crypto Chris shows people and teaches people all about the RSI and when it's really oversold or overbought, and price is approaching a high time frame liquidity. Um, I tend to get mixed up here. Like, I don't know why, but when I try to trade reversals, I get a little weird when it's like I'm sitting around waiting. I'm like, when is it going to sweep? When is it going to reverse? Here's your key level. You know, that's what you got to wait for, is a tap right up around here. And then I would probably take profit around here if I took a short on that one. I tend to I tend to do stuff like this to make me feel safer when I trade reversals. Um, so I would be looking for something like this. I would draw a trend line, and I would wait for price to break it. Let's say, this is hypothetical, obviously, but let's say the price was going like this, pushing up into this key level, because there's a fair value gap, there's an order block, really good key level. I would wait for price to go like um, something like that. And when I saw this, I would wait a little bit longer and I'd wait for it to come up to here, or because it happens so often. And I have one trades like this where I'm not really a reversal trader, but using trend lines has helped me to catch some reversals. And if you're looking at the low time frame, you know you're not late for the entry. It's still good. So who knows, that might do this. It could do this. It might come up to here or something, and then I would enter around here, like right around here, for a short. That's what I would do, but that's me. And you're not to take trades based on anything I say. I'm just showing you how. Nice, Mowgli. Very, see, he's already doing it because he knows how to do it. I wish the people in the live recording could see what's going on in the chat. Um, Maybe one day I'll start doing these on another platform, but I don't know. Well, I'll have to run some tests because certain platforms like YouTube, if I live stream on YouTube, I think it requires higher upload speed. Um, I don't have a full version of Zoom. I really like this EAX stage, but I'll figure something out eventually to improve these live streams. So yeah, that's let's look at that. Mowgli entered his short at 29.56 on Ace, and he closed it at 27.28. So let's see what he did. And I know you're probably using SMCX because that's how he trades. So he entered. Where the heck is this guy? I think it's and he entered it 29.56. So this, sometimes I do this. I'm guessing he set a stop around there, and he exited at 27.28. And now we're going to look and see what he did. Look at that. Very good. Trendex. Let's look at volume. Let's look at all this stuff. SMCX. And I don't even use but I'm going to turn this one off. That there's too many lines on that one. Bearish CISD. I am guessing you're using a different. Hey Mowgli, do you mind telling what time frame you were looking at? When, just kind of curious. Look, it's still going. Well, you can see what he did here. The price had got above the previous week high, so he was waiting, probably waiting for some sign of reversal. If he would have entered right, this is oftentimes where you would want to enter, is when this white line is below this middle band. That's how I look at it because I use TDIX. But you had bear divs. It had been really overbought. The RSI on the 3-minute was up to like 93. Yeah, let's look at a higher time frame. I'm sure there's something here. Look, it also took liquidity. There would have been liquidity here. I wonder what everything that he did to take this trade. And that's, whoops. Sometimes I will look at people's trades and I'll try to see what they did when they post their trading results, because it tells you on there where their entry and their exit price is. Well, there's a lot of things going on here. There's a mega zone of resistance here. But look at these wicks. When you see the big wicks, there's a key level, and there's so many of them. And really, that is a there's even a indicator X line there. Indicator X lines are often resistance and support as well. But we're not looking at indicator X right now. Flip zone. Yes, it's a flip zone, and there's monthly opposing. Yes. Okay, let's look at that too. So let's show people what you did, because it will help them and might even, probably help me some too. Yes. Right there. Look at that. And I will mark this right here as, oh yeah. And look at how this, let's use a different one. I got different ones. All right, so what we're seeing here, guys, this is an opposing level, and the bottom of this candle body was lined up with the top of this one, and price is there's an opposing level down here too, but price is at that level, and so there was going to be reactions to it on low time frames. Monthly levels are very strong. It's a resistance. There is a fair value gap here. I wonder what the daily and stuff's showing too. Yeah, there's the weekly's got some like strong opposing levels right around here. Lots of them. So I don't know how you do this, Mowgli, but when I see a couple really close together, I tend to pick the one that's kind of at the swing peak or bottom. So I would draw mine, my daily opposing right there. So there's a monthly opposing, a daily opposing. Look at all this resistance on the daily. This whole zone is resistance. Look at all the wicks. And if you've narrowed it down, you'll see the flip level where here there were wicks on this side, and then price went below, and now there are wicks there. So this is a strong level. So we kind of see, yeah, it had high RSI on I'm guessing one of the, yeah, on the other time frames, like even on the 4 hour was above 70. The hourly, I bet's what you're looking at, because that's how EAX shows the hourly data. RSI was at what, 86 or 7 on the hourly? Yeah. So this is all his confluence. This is how he finds his trades. And yeah, you got a zone here, a flip zone that's currently resistance. Price came into it. It may go up and break that level and continue up. We don't know. But the thing is, you can catch the trade on the low time frame. You got the reaction. You don't need to like hold a trade forever. I think this is a common misconception that new traders get. I've had this problem. That's why I want to talk about it for a minute. Is you see somebody post a trade and they get hundreds of percent of profit or 1,000, and you know some of these guys, they catch that reversal right at the wick on the swing high or low, and you think they held it forever, but it's not necessarily the case. If you're using 25x leverage or some higher leverage, you only need a move that's this big. Okay, cool. Mowgli is coming on stage, but see how he also took his profit here at a flip level at the key level monthly when it came to it. So I sent you an invite. It should let you in, because that's all you have to do, guys. You want to trade this reaction to these levels and get your money and get out, and not hold the trade to where it turns against you. Because look, it could turn back up here. It could go back up again and break through this time. Would you want to share your screen? I'm surprised you're awake, by the way. I can't hear you. Can anyone hear him? He's probably getting his mic set up. I'm going to take a drink of water. And I'm going to stop sharing. If you want to share your screen, you just let me know and I'll stop sharing mine.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Do you want to share your screen? Or just
No,
no?
I've got my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't work really well on my phone. So basically, what I was showing there is the combination. Obviously, just the most important part is to mark out your from your high time frame, your monthly.
Yes.
And then you look for your monthly flip levels, your monthly opposing, fair value gaps, move to the weekly, do the same, and the 3 day, do the same. You just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
lost you.
guys see this CISD break here too. There was even that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just like you said, guys, you set a few levels in the area. You don't have to mark every single level on your chart. Just mark the ones like in the area of the current price. That way you can do your TA faster. You can be ready for the trade, because you don't really need to know what's going on way up here at these key levels if they're there. You don't really need to know what's going on way down here. If price is right around here,
You work around.
all you need,
The.
yep, all you need is that area. You can do it quick. You got, you got your tools, your Trendex, your SMCX. It's showing you right here, previous day high, previous week high, or yeah, and so these are levels just came out because it's the daily open 18 minutes ago.
Previous week highs and lows are great, but to be honest with you, they're not, in my opinion. So, like, if for instance, if you really want to get like strong key zone levels, flip zones on a monthly are probably your most reactive places. And
Yep.
then your high time fair value gaps and your opposing levels, time opposing levels,
Yes.
and thereafter when you like go into the low time frame,
Okay.
basically just watching where price is in relation to that, and
Yes.
you
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
don't enter anywhere else. Uh, Yeah,
Yep.
I only enter in those zones.
Yeah. That he said it
And
all. Just
Trendix gives you
yep.
such an amazing like, how can I say, sets it out so perfectly when you go into low time frame. Let me see if I can get it up on my phone here. Give me
Okay.
1 second.
So you guys
I don't know if I can share my screen.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How would I share my screen?
Oh, you know what? Doing it on your phone, I'm not sure. You guys,
See.
you train your eyes to see these flip zones. Um,
Yeah,
that and the monthly level and the daily level, that's all right there, just like you said, and that's where you're looking to take a trade on the lower time frame.
yeah,
Um, I will stop
yeah.
streaming.
I can't share.
You try now it because I stopped sharing and it should. Um,
Don't know what
and
button.
I
Yeah,
will pull up.
yeah.
So for
Uh,
the people watching the replay of the live stream, um, the chat has been pretty busy over here, so I'm
just
showing that right now. We've had
let me see.
there were a good bit of people in here for a bit. It's slowing down. This is a time zone that most people aren't awake in, but
Uh,
we're waiting to see. And if you share, that's great. It'll show it on the recording. I've got it set up to
yeah,
record it.
can't do it. I haven't actually seen it before.
Okay, that's all
I
good.
haven't done it on a phone. Look, I mean, if you have a watch of my coin hands,
Yes.
um, I mean, obviously, like you guys know that I only started like I think 5 months ago, and the one thing, like I always took the most prominent aspects that I could pick up from Seth, like things that he was like blown away from. I mastered them as well, and the one most incredible thing was like it really like clicked for me was the marking of the like your high time frame zones, and then the flip zone was a major click for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Major
Me
click.
too. Me too. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he
changed
points them out
everything.
like he pointed them out so like easy, like when he did his like the tutorials and training videos for us. Like once I started watching those and started seeing like how he did it, and I was just like, wow, it's really that easy, you know, like
Yeah,
just to
it is
see.
though. That's
It
the thing,
is.
man. Like so the whole process, like from like even what I'm doing now, like Seth and I actually doing it together, is we like introducing each tool that we use. Scan and execute the bias. Obviously, with market shows you like what majority of prices under or over pivots. Gives you an indication, obviously, of
Yes.
the market bias. And then you move over to the EAX, and of course, like I'm very good at picking up tokens off the EAX. It's actually it is a little bit complicated, I must say. Like it's taken me a while to actually like really
Yeah.
figure out what the information means. But I mean, I do explain it every time in my sessions, and
Yep.
I've done a very in-depth course on it. But once you understand the data that you're reading from the EAX, it's so easy to pick up tokens, man. And then once you grab
Yep.
a token, you pick the
Exactly.
token, you literally put it onto your chart. You start with a time frame, monthly flip zones, monthly opposing levels, monthly fair value gaps. Once you can't get any more, you go down to the weekly. Do the same thing. Can't get any more, go to the 3 day. Do the same thing. Keep doing it, you know?
Yes.
Like the last session that Seth and I did, like he was marking and I marked. And then after the marking of the session, because I put on Trendex afterwards, and I went right down to the 1 minute. He even like phoned me afterwards. He's like, "Yeah, damn, dude, believe how like insanely precise you are with your marking." I was like, "Aren't you supposed to be?" It's like
Yeah.
that's how it's supposed to be done. So, yeah, like the the idea is that you need, no matter what the token will say, like if it's looking like it's going to bounce or it's like in reverse or it's high key level or whatever, you have to know like where the zones are, where their persons are. You have to know
Yep.
before you enter. Like
I wanted to
you got to
bring
do it.
something up while I
And
thought about it, because I've noticed sometimes you often have price get up to an area where you think it's going to hit, but sometimes it just doesn't make it, and then it just drops. And I've seen that so many times
yeah,
with Trendex R
very often.
weekly R1, R2, and
Yes,
R3. It doesn't,
R three.
like, price will often stall out before it gets there. It gets so close. And what I was wanted to mention, what I was thinking, and like in this here, this might go down and break the CISD. This thing might reverse here because this CISD line is so close. Um, but I would have expected it to go up here and reverse. But this could have been the accumulation. That could have been the manipulation sweep, and then
Yeah.
it could have been because we don't know
Listen,
what
so
Bitcoin's doing right
if
now.
price
And
gets close to high
yes,
level key zones and with our IRSI,
yep,
right? What I like my entry model is like I'll look for a like strong movement on a 1 minute, and then as I have a strong movement and I can see it retraces, I enter and I move my stop loss to my entry
yes,
straight
I
away,
and
and
yeah,
then sometimes I get tapped out, but I mean, it's like minimal, dude. You're losing
yep.
like 50 cents.
And if you don't get
You
in,
do
you
you do
you'll
it a few
probably
times.
miss it. You can miss a lot of trades if you don't get in. And look at it this way, guys. Just what he's
Yep.
saying. Like it seems like you're entering early, but let's say you've seen this here, the fast MA starting to cross in here. Like this would have been a great entry right here. But let's say you've seen it and you're thinking like maybe I shouldn't enter yet. Maybe it's going to make it up here. Well, look at it this way. How much of a percent is it? Well, and this one's kind of volatile, so it's like 3. But in many cases, it's not that much. So let's say you entered here and it was too early and it went up a little bit higher. You know, depending on your leverage, if you're using 20x, that's an issue. But when you're on the 1 minute too, you're gonna see more of what could have been a sweep. So
Yeah.
what
So
I
I
use
mean,
low
the one thing you
leverage.
also got to look for is AMD,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
AMD, which is very like
Accumulation,
strong, powerful.
manipulation.
You'll always see like if you watch price, it goes very slow, and then whenever it comes to these key levels, you'll start to see how fast it moves.
Yes.
Like it starts to like go up and down very very quickly. So it means
Like right here.
now is the time where there's going to be a movement.
Right here is the kind of like um
Yeah.
this
exactly.
that
That's
area
a
right
massive
there.
movement,
Yep,
dude.
it is. What I
Yeah,
was gonna say too,
that's a
like,
massive movement, dude.
because like I'm more accustomed to trading continuations rather than reversals, but I'm trying to get better at reversals. So I would use lower leverage. You guys, like you use 25x on that. Somebody else might have used more, and you guys get these killer trades. But I'll use
Yeah.
5x, 10x. On something really volatile,
Why?
I'll use 3x, but I will still make money.
Why?
Why? Because I've lost before, and that's I don't want to lose, but I don't know. I don't feel as comfortable with
So here's an
seeing my
idea,
liquidation level get too close. But like the
Daryl.
thing is, when I use lower leverage, when it goes up to here, you know, it doesn't bother me because that at 3x or 5, it's only a small percentage. It could come up and still hit my zone and still then go in my direction. But go ahead and say what. Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, the one thing, like, I mean, I must say, like, I I shouldn't be telling anybody like how I enter because it's not part of the curriculum. Like me, I've learned all the price action. I've understood how it moves. I understand the key zones. I understand the volatility before like a sweep. Um, so for me to wait for like a whole candle closure, like candle two engulfing candle on a high time frame. Yes, but then like you may as well just like packed your bags and fucked off somewhere else. Can't
Yeah.
really. You can't. I don't know. For me, you can't trade like that. I don't know. It's
Well.
it's it's a good thing to learn for entry level traders. Very 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 good. It's very cool. But once you understand like how price sweeps, because you remember like you've got to understand how um like the money makers, the market makers. This is where they get
Mm-hmm.
involved, and this is the whole idea about SMC. So
Yeah.
you create the levels, obviously all of these flip zones and confluence and levels where there's a lot of liquidity, and if there's enough liquidity, obviously you attract the market makers that actually can say, cool, I can get in here and I can spend $1 million and I'll actually be able to purchase because there is enough liquidity there. But they wouldn't be able to do that at any other place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is
Yes.
why these key zones and levels are so important. They're very important, dude. That like it's
Yeah.
ultimate like base of everything. It doesn't matter what your entry model is. It's you can identify and clarify those levels. That's where the true power comes from. Just identify it. Like on this level here, you can see you've got the fair value gap, the flip zone. You've got the on this one. I'm assuming are two, and you've got opposing level. You've got a lot going on there, right? And then
Yes.
you got a very strong movement to the top.
Yep.
See there, you got a
Right here.
really strong movement. So it's manipulation. So
Yep.
yeah, exactly. So that manipulation obviously shows you the strong movement. And your RSI is something you always keep in mind. You have to you have to watch your
Yes.
RSI.
Yes. It. Yep.
Yes. So if you've got like an 80 RSI and then you start a movement like that, it will get exhausted very quickly. It
Yep.
always does.
And it was pretty much.
Always, always, always does this.
Yeah.
Doesn't go.
70.
It doesn't go past 96.
Um.
96 doesn't go past 90. I haven't seen it go past 96 with a movement in a token of 153%. So generally, with a higher like S tokens in a day, those are the ones that will obviously achieve higher RSIs on the one level, on the 1 hour level. The price has to reverse at some point. But if
Yes.
you can catch those reversals at these key levels, like before learning anything, the only thing you should master is literally charting the key zones. That's it. Don't think about anything else.
Yep.
Just chart key zones.
Yep.
Because if you get your key zones wrong, your entries are going to follow
Yeah.
those wrong key zones.
Yep.
It's exactly what's going to happen. It's so important, man. Like really, like, and again, that's what like changed my whole game. And I told you, I did 33 trades in 2 days, and I took $100, and I lost 6 trades. I got a total of 5,700 percent profit and 490% loss, and that was off 3 days,
Nice.
based on the same, yeah, based on the same theory, dude. Just key zones, sweeping key zones, AMD, and high RSI. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty convinced it works. It works.
Oh, it does. You're doing it. It's great.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I have no idea how MAs work.
yeah,
Or,
it's you know
or
people
FIPS.
people
Or,
use different things, but your
mm,
method of trading reversals is it really shows. Um, it's really good. Um, but yeah, I do tend to stay safe. Now, I do plan to gradually scale up with my leverage. I'm not just gonna stay boring forever, but um, I
dude,
I've
you
been
can
pretty
trade
happy.
for fucking 1% for the rest of your life, mate. I'll still love you.
Thanks.
Don't worry.
Well, I get around 100% like profit. I tend to take my profit
Yeah.
around 100 if it gets there, but there've been a lot of times where I've seen it just keep going and going, and I was like, wow, that would have been life changing if I would have held it. But it's
Uh,
FOMO. I don't let it get to me. But with time,
Daryl, Daryl,
it,
Daryl,
it
Daryl.
experience gives
Yeah,
you
you
more
know what it's called?
confidence.
You know what it's called?
What?
No, yeah, it's called balls.
Balls, confidence. Yeah, yeah.
It, it, uh, I'll explain to you why. Like I've got too many
Hmm.
in this way, and it's really fucked me many times. Sorry about the swearing.
No, that's all good. Whatever.
Like I'm one of those guys. I'm a skydiver, proximity flyer, fucking race driver, poker player. Like I'm an
Risk taker.
extremist in every way.
Yeah.
No, I don't take risks at all. They're not called risks. They're just called action.
Okay.
I don't see them as a risk. I just take action. It excites me, and I take action. Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, like don't get me wrong. My last business now in 16 million debt
Wow.
because I was so bold. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was great, great time. Drove nice RS5s, nice homes, nice. But
Nice.
yeah, it didn't work out. Sorted it out. Obviously, it's all debt free now and whatever. But yeah, that's the kind of high life lifestyle, of a guy that just needs some action.
Yeah.
It's not
Hey,
necessarily
yeah,
what everybody should do.
yeah. To each their own.
Yeah,
Um, that's
yeah, no, of
that's
course,
what that's
of
what it
course, of
is. When you look at it that way, we're all trading for ourselves. And we can't when it comes down to it, we can't really be always waiting for somebody else to give us some sort of signal. So we develop our own strategies with what we learn
no,
from different people.
no, 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 no,
And,
no.
so that's I'm just kind of messing around on the charts here as we chat. And I normally do end here soon around 11. It's about 20 minutes, so we got time. But I hear what you're
Yeah, dude,
saying.
I'm like 240. Yeah,
Yeah, wow, you're up late. Um,
yeah, no, earning the midnight. I was actually working on um. I've literally set my whole PC up for how can I say dev? dev work now. But like we had
Oh, for
that
development
previous
work. Yeah.
journal I made. Yeah, so I'm gonna be taking on the EAX, Scanner X, and everything as well. And yeah, I'm gonna be making changes, doing the
Yeah,
stuff on it.
you're working hard on it.
Relying. Yeah, dude. Thing, I just think like, I'm not a dev. The devs are definitely got a skill. The one thing I see with devs is that they lack like logic and solution. Like, I don't know. For me, like imagination. Like I can see so much.
Hmm.
I really, really can see so much happening, so much going on, And and it's also like it takes time. You need to speak to the guy, have to get hold of him, have to explain what you mean. It's a back and forth process and everything until it works. And like although it's cool like working with him, um, I just feel like it would be so much easier if I could just do it on my own.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the new journal that I've almost finished.
Great. Yeah, I
Oh,
see what I understand
it's
what you mean.
super.
Sometimes it's easy just to learn how to do something and do it on your own. Then sometimes working with people because then you got to show, kind of explain
Yeah, we
why
need
why
to
you're
take
doing
full
what you're
control of
doing.
our shit, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's me and Seth and I, and we need to take full control. He's
Yeah,
good with the courses and the explaining and the logic. I seem to be very good with the dev side of things.
that's great.
I just seem to understand it very well. Yeah, yeah, no, and it's very enjoyable.
That's
And
cool. Like,
also,
not a lot of people
oh
do
man,
that.
it's like, well, with AI these days, dude, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's really easy. Yeah. But I mean, like, the scanner X can't get hold of the guy like 3 months.
Wow.
You know what I mean, like, and yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
something that's
I can't
ours.
get into
We
my Scanner X. Like,
can't
I
even
know to
speak to
go to
the
like
dude.
I can get to the website, but like I got to put in my WAP ID again because I lost it. I had it written down somewhere, but I need to get my mem ID or whatever for WAP. I'll put in a ticket or just talk to you
Yeah,
later or
I mean,
something.
even that's now getting ridiculous as well, dude. The
Yeah.
whole MID, MID, because you used to be able to get it on your own, and now you can't.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah,
what
it
the
used to
fuck?
be right there in your profile, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But also like WAP itself is just such an outdated process. Like, we've got 42 trial signups in the last 7 days,
Wow.
and um, yeah, no, it's been good. Like, Seth's doing really good with his videos. But the problem is, I'm sitting there and speaking to like idiots the whole time. Like, where's my indicator? I don't
Yeah.
have it. Stuff like that. Like, oh, dude, I'll be dealing with this shit. Like, how am I supposed to get 10,000 people in here? That's a bit of an issue. So we need our own platform. Make it simpler, man. A lot simpler. Everything all together. We can have control. Anyway, I'm speaking business over your session. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh no, that's all good, man. Um, I'm just looking at something I
Um,
saw on the volatility scanner. Yeah, this has been a good chat. I
uh,
think this stream's been really good.
you mentioned that thing again to me. It's gone, right?
Is what?
It's gone.
No, don't do that. Please don't do that.
You mentioned it 3 times to me now this week.
I use that. I like that. Um, it just shows you that something
Okay.
starts to move
You know
like
what?
really early.
Do me a favor. Have a really close session with it tonight. Tomorrow it's going to be gone.
No, I know you're just pulling my leg. You're not going to do that to me.
Yeah, I actually I liked the idea, but then it started bugging me a lot.
Well, I don't. I think a lot of
Um,
people just haven't known what to do with it, and I've put a lot of thought into it, and now I know what to do with it.
well, it's reversal trading, right?
Yeah, you can. Well, a lot of the times, once it starts moving, then like it's kind of too late.
Yeah.
Something's already
So I
happened.
mean,
But
now
that's
even
not.
obviously with the
But
EAX, for
but that's
instance,
not a problem if you trade continuations, which I do. So for me, it's like a gold mine sitting right there that's been in front of my been on Discord the whole time that I haven't even tapped into. And just recently, I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. What? And I
do
thought
do
about it.
you do you get success?
Yes,
That's great,
yes.
man.
So I'm just
The other
like
cool thing is you
looking
can
for
do is
low
like
time frames
the
after
minute
it's.
you get a
Hmm? Sorry.
so you get like a alert
Yeah,
from the
you can.
volatility,
Yes, you can just go to
and
now.
then you can put it into the EX.
Yes. Um, on the recording,
Yeah,
you'll see it on here. Basically, um, on the volatility scanner, you just right click the channel and you go to notification settings and click all messages. I paused mine for the stream, but so whenever something becomes volatile, my Discord will beep on my phone or on my computer, like I'm getting a message or something. So then, like, soon as something starts
yeah,
moving, soon as it becomes volatile, I can look at it, you know, an EAX, trading view, and start looking. Okay,
yeah.
it's
So it's important that like it goes volatile. Check it out. So you get a pump when it goes volatile, right? So it's the same thing as if you look at a volatile coin in EAX, and it shows oversold. But when you look at it, it still has a bullish divergence.
right.
You know what I
But
mean?
but
So you're using yeah, if you're using it just on its own like that, just it's so much more random.
yeah,
You definitely pull it into the EAX, take it, pull it in, get more info, and obviously just be sure. Cool. Is this what I want to trade? Then yeah,
yes.
what you use it
Yeah.
for,
Um hey, is anyone going to stay around because I might get going soon and try to catch some of these trades and do some stuff here like in a few minutes. Alan just raised his hand that he might want to join and speak. So I'll invite him to speak. I don't know if he's got a question or anything, but here and say like within 10 minutes or so, I'm probably gonna jet. But you guys can you can stay if you
No,
like.
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
think you're
Well,
gonna
I
stay
should
too long, but
I should have been sleeping already, dude. Like
yeah,
3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty late. Um, so yeah, EAX
Yeah.
guys. There's so much you can do with it now, and it just keeps getting
And
better. Have you
and
thought about?
I'm gonna make it better now, man.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It gets better and better. Like, I mean, especially with this, the fact you
Well,
can make a little watch
not just
list
that.
within
Like,
it. I love that. If you add the
what I'm
volatility
meaning
to
is
this,
that
that would be so
so
sweet. Like,
I've concluded the deal,
mm-hmm.
and we are going to be taking the whole repository, and we're going to be putting it into our side. I'm going to obviously host it, and I've been playing with a lot of things, man. You must see. Remember that journal that I made for? I don't know if you remember it.
I'm not sure. I don't, I
The
don't know.
journal. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Well, I've
knew
just
about
been
that.
playing around with a new journal now.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is insane, dude. Got like four
Nice.
or five different programs that are like connected to it, yeah. But I'm just getting used to like what it can do. But one of my ideas with it, um, with the EAX, because one thing I've noticed is like for me, the minute like I came across this, I mean, I Seema obviously brought it to me, and he was like listening to me, with all my suggestions. And he was building this thing in the background. And eventually I was just like, he's like, oh, I've done this, I've done that. And I'm like, oh, dude, maybe have a look at what you've done. And had a like session with him, and he showed me. And man, I couldn't believe it, dude. They could literally build a thing for us. And I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on. You know what? Don't show this to anyone. Keep it to yourself. You go show Seth this, and then it took Seth 2 weeks to look at the damn thing. Uh,
Hmm.
Once he had a look at it, he's like, "Oh man, I believe that this is built for us." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, exactly." So,
Well, I'm excited
yeah, I mean, there
because
was a major step forward.
yeah, I'm really excited to see how it goes because it just keeps getting better and better, and
Well,
it's like oh, it's almost a lot to keep up with sometimes because like how fast
well, this is the big issue, dude. So, for me, when I introduced him, I was so excited because I was like, "Things you'll never ever need like a signal again. You've just got a permanent signal, tokens, and then you do your TA." But the response wasn't great. Like really, really wasn't great. People weren't taking to it really.
mhm.
Like they were, I don't know, intimidated.
Yeah,
Like, it's a lot of data.
it
Yeah.
is. I think it's
No,
been hard for people to understand what to do with it. You know
yeah.
how you can
And,
get
and not to be horrible, man, but there's a lot of stupid people, man.
mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like
Well,
I've been dealing especially about
you, people get analysis
these guys, like,
paralysis too. Like so. Oh, you mean like you don't mean our
not
guys,
even
like
that,
the
dude,
other
man. They're
guys,
like,
like you're trying to work with.
how do I connect my trading view? I'm like, oh my God, I think you should just not trade, dude. Like, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guys are just new, and it's hard to be patient with them. But we got to understand where we
Make
started
a
too. I
comment?
think you're tired, brother, too. But that's all good.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Go, Alan.
So Future knows my story a little bit. I signed up for Easy Algo about 6 or 7 months ago, and I was just learning how to actually trade because I was a crypto miner before I got into training. So I had miners at my house.
Yeah,
Um,
Isaac minus.
so anyway, so I signed up. Easy Algo looked cool, but I just had no idea what I was getting into. So I pretty much shelved it for about 4 months, signed up with Sniper Club and learned how to do traditional
Yeah,
TA. And then I'm like, well, I paid for the, and then I saw Seth's SMCX video because I was still watching his stuff on YouTube and I was
yeah.
watching a little bit. I didn't do the trainings. And then SMCX sold me after about the third video, so I upgraded.
You
And
did
that
very
was
well,
like
man. Yeah.
the light bulb for me. But I was already in trading for about 5 months and had a little bit of an idea of what I was doing. So it started working. And then I
Yeah.
went, oh, what's this volatility scanner in Discord? So I turned it on, and when that thing would go off, I would put the coin in my screen and I would do some TA, and sometimes the indicator will go off, but it's the coin's not ready, obviously, right? It could be in the middle, it
Yeah.
could be on the way up or down. So just because the volatility indicator or the volatility scanner goes off doesn't mean the coin's ready, but it
Uh,
means you should watch it maybe for a while and see if it gets to one of the ends. And then just in the last few weeks, I've actually started learning how to use Trend X and Indicator X. And I've been using EAX a lot. And I'll only take a trade with EAX if it has divergence and
yeah.
it's at a key level. I'm not worried
Yeah.
about the top mover isn't as in my opinion, isn't that as important. But if you can get those two things, you have a higher instance of a better outcome trade wise.
Yeah,
That's what I've done.
you've learned
And,
so far.
along with like maybe your top 20 coins you like to trade and you just look at them and chart them every day. I mean, and then if you want to scalp, that's what I've been using EAX for. It's like, get home, I have no clue what's going on, and you pull it up and you're like, okay, we just passed coming up on the top of the hour here in 7 or 8 minutes. I'm going to run the scanner and see what's hot and see if it's ready, and I'll load up four or five
It's always a
coins.
place to start. Huh? That's the cool
Pardon?
thing. It's always a place
Yeah.
to start.
There's always something that's
Yeah,
could be ready,
something to look.
and you just have to see if
Before
it's,
it used to be like, and you sit down and you like ask guys, hey, what's happening? It's interesting. Where's the trainer? Like, what's he looking at? So you'd always require others. Whenever it is you sat down and wanted to get on with something. But the cool thing about now, what these tools are, it's like there's actually too much, man. There are way too
I've had to
many.
apply myself. I had to apply myself to learn because I don't want to be the guy going, where's the trade? 90% of the people out there, probably a higher number, just want to come in, get a signal or get a trade given to them, and that's it. They don't want to do the work. I want to
Yeah,
be able to
no, it
sit
doesn't work.
down, look at the charts, and go, no, it's not ready. It's got to do this. It's got to retest, and then it's going to go.
Yeah,
I want to
that is
just,
a shitty attitude, though, man. Anybody that
but
starts that way, to be honest.
But that's the reality. I mean, at
Yeah,
least
the
from what
reality
I've seen.
it starts there. It starts there, and then eventually you realizes like people like I'll be honest with you, I actually started there. Like, cool, I'll give you money rather just do it, but I don't really want to. I'm not interested in getting involved. And now I'm obsessed.
Oh, I'm
Like,
addicted
yeah, dude, like I'm
to a
so
point.
Yeah,
obsessed.
guys,
Yeah.
seriously,
I've
like
learned.
me too. Like I'm never gonna quit trading ever. It's my
No.
No,
life
no,
now.
no.
It's a major part of my life. You know, once you know how it
Well, if you
works.
use it correctly, you can make some decent money and keep your risk low. And I think for me, it was just learning. And like I've asked Trader, and I think I've talked to you also, Mowgli. Um, my biggest beef with Easy Algo right now is that WAP is broken and I can't use EAX on WAP the way I want to because it doesn't work right. Like if you have 4 coins and you touch one, it'll just flash it for a second and always default to the furthest left coin's uh, little chart. You know how it pops a chart up when you touch each one?
Okay, well, just open something there for me. I might be able to help.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think we talked once about it. You're like, it's not hot on the list to get fixed. But
Well,
when I sit on the couch with my wife, I was couch trading and I would go and use EAX on
You're
WAP
talking about your phone.
on my phone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. I
So I
remember that.
tried two different things. I did, I opened up WAP on my phone through the WAP app, and then I also did it in a web browser, and they both have the same problem. But if you're on your
Yeah,
home
they all bunch up
computer
now.
and you just touch each one, they pop up and stay. It used to work right until either you guys did something or WAP did something. I don't know when. And then
No,
it's like I
no.
can't couch trade because it's more difficult to deal with it now. But
No, it just got more intricate, dude. That's all.
hey, you
I
guys.
mean,
yeah,
EX is going to be a very difficult one to make a
it
app out
just
of.
needs a little. I'm sure it's just a simple little fix thing, but it just annoys me.
I'm gonna stop
Yeah, look,
recording the live stream. I'm still in here, but the recording just stopped.